It's 100.3 RNB. I'm Mina SayWhat. Just very happy to have Yandy Smith-Harris joining me today. Hello, Yandy.
Hey, my love. How are you?
It's about as good as I can get. You know, there's a lot going on in the world. We'll get to that in a bit. But Yandy,
absolutely,
you're going to be on Uncensored this Sunday on TV One. How are you feeling? I mean, I guess we're going to get to learn a lot more about you, right?
I'm so excited. I mean, you guys see me on a reality show, but that is a very targeted, edited, produced show. Right now, this is raw. It is uncensored, figuratively and literally. You're going to see everything about me. Not many of you have met Yandy from Grant Project, so you'll see a little bit of the Yandy from Grant Project. You'll hear about, you know, when we got evicted from our project apartment. You'll see a lot about my past. You know, I come from parents that have been struggling with addiction, and you know, you'll hear some real stories that you've never seen on the show. So I'm excited, and I hope that people are inspired and encouraged, because I'm so much like so many of us and so many of you than anything else.
Right. What do you hope people take away from this?
I hope they take away just the fact that I am a regular mom, working woman that just wants success for her family, success for my community, and I want liberation for my people. And, you know, you don't get to really see much of that when you watch reality TV shows, but that has been my life's mission. I want to create opportunities for people of color with the businesses I create, with the shows that I create, because I come from a place where not too many people make it out. A lot of people don't see other countries and experience life as I've been able to experience it. But it was someone that turned around and lifted me up that was able to show me some things that I never would have seen it. I never would have seen life outside of the goggles of Grant Project, you know. And I'm so thankful that I was able to. Yeah. Because someone turned back and grabbed me.
So you started off like doing music stuff, like working for the label. Mona Scott Young was present in your life then, even now into the transition of you being on reality TV. How do you feel like she shaped your career?
Oh, my God. So my career in music started with Mona. I was super green. I was coming out of Howard University. And I knew that at that time I thought I was going to law school. So I knew that I wanted to get an internship because I wanted to do entertainment law. And I came in there, I had to beg for the job pretty much. And when I got it, it was like, I'll clean your office. I will go get coffee. Whatever it is that I need to do, I will do it. And she said, okay, that's what you're going to do. So the fact that I graduated from Howard with honors, none of that mattered. What mattered was my hustle, my grind, and how well, as in the beginning, I did the simplest things. How well can you organize my CDs? How well then can you answer my phone?
Right.
How well can you keep the calls in my call log? And then every situation that I was able to do well, you know, there was a little more that was granted. You know, before I was even 2 years at Violator Management and Records, I was going on tour with Missy. I was, you know, touring with Busta, touring with 50 on the Get Rich Die Trying tour.
Right.
There was so much that I was able to experience and learn, you know, just etiquette in the office, working in music, etiquette with artists, how to be a manager, how to, even as a manager, you know, it's important to be able to understand legal jargon and accounting and able to help your clients with their money. A manager literally does every job first before a client is able to hire an accountant, hire a lawyer. Your manager pretty much does everything.
It's 100.3 RNB. I'm Mina SayWhat. Yandy Smith-Harris is joining us today. Now, if you follow her on social media, you know she's been very active with the social justice movement. She's been working with a group called Until Freedom. And you are actually in Louisville. Like, you've been back and forth to Louisville for the Breonna Taylor case. Can you talk about the recent charge in the case? One officer was charged. He was charged with 3 counts for shooting into an apartment building. It's not a criminal charge. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a disgrace. I think it's disgusting. And I think it's a loud and clear message that in Louisville, Kentucky, the justice system out there does not think Black women's lives matter. And, you know, the sad thing that I don't know that if you guys are aware he was charged with one of the families, endangering one family, and that's the house next door that was occupied by a white family. The bullets that went through Breonna's ceiling also struck into a black family's home, but was not charged for that one.
Wow.
Just so you guys can see the clear parallel in how they view black lives versus how they view white lives. And, the current climate we live in with bigotry is just insane. And it's sad. I'm pushing through these interviews because I know that this is part of my work. But my heart is very, very heavy. When that indictment came yesterday, it was really a blow. And it's been hard to do these interviews and talk about things that matter to me when at the forefront of my heart is this black woman that the world keeps yelling and screaming did not matter.
Yeah. When I tweeted about this, someone said to me that her family got the wrongful death lawsuit for $12 million and they're implementing a whole bunch of police reforms because of what happened. Is that enough? Like, what looks like justice in this situation?
What looks like justice is whatever Breonna Taylor's family deems as justice. I have no say in what justice looks like for them. And I have yet to connect with Breonna's mom and her sister on this. If there was even slight acknowledgement of her name or a slight indictment that said for her murder. But there's not even that. I know for a fact this is not what justice looks like for her family. I can't say what it looks like. I don't know what her mom would see as justice. Because if one of mine were taken, what my justice may look like may not be yours.
Right.
So I think that I'm uncertain of what justice looks like for her family, but I'm certain what has happened is not justice for her family or for the world or any other black woman there. I mean, any person. I can't even just, no one can look at this as justice served. And I don't see how a grand jury has found this to be justice.
It's 100.3 RNB. Yandy Smith-Harris is joining us on Mina SayWhat. Her Uncensored is airing this Sunday on TV1. We've been talking about Yandy's social justice efforts. She has been down in Louisville. She's been, advocating and protesting and marching for Breonna Taylor. You've actually been down there with Portia, so you guys have been like a tag team duo out there just really trying to make a change, right?
Absolutely. We had, when we first met out there with Until Freedom, we didn't even know. We knew each other in passing. We give each other highs, give hugs, and say hi. But when you are, fighting for something and you understand that your liberation and your equality is bounded by these things, you get a whole different type of sisterhood. Your fight is different. And then when you are approached with officers in riot gear and the only arm I'm holding is her arm and we're like praying silently or whispering like, God, please don't let them, pepper spray us. Please don't let them shoot us with these rubber bullets. We didn't know what was going to happen. And, feeling her arm tight and feeling my arm tight and us strengthening each other and then even being locked up together. Even in that, all of those different things, you just build a different type of sisterhood. So, I definitely appreciate gaining a sister in Portia.
I have a real admiration for the fact that, how you evolve in your life. You started off in the music industry and, being a part of the label. Then you go into management and tour management and stuff like that. And then, you end up on reality TV and now you've morphed into the activism world. That says a lot about your talents as a person,
Yeah, I've always felt like I wanted to have a voice, and I think that is why God put me in this space of being on television, because I never feel like a celebrity. I never feel like I was supposed to be on TV. But being able to have this platform, have this influence, I'm like, oh, so this is why you put me on TV, guys, because I'm supposed to amplify the voices of these marginalized communities and of these people that are facing injustices. That's the reason why.
Right.
Because I know that, I didn't get caught up in the hype of, being on TV and I have this image to uphold and I got to be Hollywood and drive this car or live in this neighborhood. I'm just glad that people care to follow me so that I can talk about the things that really matter and that are important.
Right. You know, there's always the trolls on social media questioning your motives. And I saw you actually respond to someone who, I don't, you know, they're out there, they're on the internet, you know, they're anonymous, so they feel like they can say whatever they want. What do you have to say to these people that question anything that you're doing?
It's not about them for me. It's not about the trolls. It's not about what you think is happening. As long as you hear my message, you hear what I'm talking about, the reasoning doesn't matter. Like, just know that I am fighting for the liberation of my people. I'm fighting against injustice. Whatever you believe, if you believe, oh, she's doing this for clout, she's doing this for TV time, fine. Give me the TV time. Fine. Make Breonna's name trend. Make, you know, the prison with no hot water and no heat trend and below 0 degrees. Whatever you believe is the case, sure. Just add to it. Just post it. Say that I'm clout and make sure that it gets to the shade room. Say that I don't even know, I think clout chasing, isn't it? Whatever it is that it's called. Continue to amplify that, which in turn will amplify the voice of what I'm talking about. And I can't worry about who got something to say or who thinks I'm doing it for this. I know the reason. That's all that matters to me.
Right.
As long as what I'm trying to do happens, then that's fine.
Right.
Don't matter. It don't matter what you think the reason is. As long as that name is trending, long as awareness is being brought to that prison, that's what matters to me.
It's 100.3 RNB. Mina SayWhat. Yandy Smith-Harris is on the line. Her Uncensored is airing this Sunday on TV One. So what are we going to learn about you that we don't already know? That's what I always look forward to with these Uncensored.
Oh, my goodness. There is so much. Really, my upbringing, which led me to be kind of the hustler that I am. I lost everything. You know, we've been evicted. I came from very, very, very humble beginnings. Like, how do you get evicted out of the project? Which girl,
it happens.
But we were
right.
Like, you would never know. I never get a chance to talk about those things. No one ever asked me those questions, and I think it's important for people to know, like, where people come from so that they're inspired. Like, anybody can be successful. You know, I had a dad. My dad is still alive, thank God, but he used to be in and out of rehab, you know, constantly. So balancing that with trying to get an education, with trying to help my mom, who was a single mom, trying to figure things out, it was never easy. It was never easy. But one thing that helped save my life, and I always say it's important, someone felt the need to turn back, grab my hand, and pull me up. You know, I'm so thankful for all the mentors in my life. I'm so thankful for the people that felt like she deserves better or she deserves a little piece of this pie, and that, you know, not only gave me a piece of the pie, but showed me how to make pie for myself so that I could cut the pie and give it to other people. That has been impactful for my life, and I'm hoping that this inspires people to get out there, take care of other people, be mentors. But then also, you know, there's a little bit of tragedy and a little bit of crazy in my story, too, that you guys will find and hear. And I really hope that this is something that inspires people.
So during this pandemic, girl, you've been homeschooling the kids, just like a lot of the rest of us. How has that been? Are you a good teacher?
Honey, during this interview, I am homeschooling. I'm talking to you, and every time you talk, I put the phone on mute, and I'm like, Amir, all right, doing your math. Amir, say hi.
Hi, Amir.
You hear that little voice? He says, hi, Amir. So we are literally in school. We are in session right now, and I'm like, Amir, just keep your head down, keep focused. You'll have to focus when people talking to you. Don't look at me while I'm on this interview. It's crazy. It's hard. My husband is with Skylar. I'm with Amir today. So trying to get him to do his work while I have to also work and do things, it's not easy. But, you know, once again, this government has failed us on the front of this pandemic and our kids. But what I won't do is let my kids fall behind. So if I got to be mommy at work while mommy's the school teacher,
right,
and all of that stuff, mommy going to do what she got to do.
Right. I saw on the reality show that you had adopted a girl, right? A daughter?
Yes.
How is that going? Just being like, you know, an adoption mother.
It's insane. I became a foster mom, actually.
Right, a foster. I'm sorry, a foster mother.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm fostering a teenage daughter, and it's not easy at all, but it is absolutely rewarding. I've learned so much. But, I've also been able to kind of figure out what it's going to be like with Skylar when Skylar hits 18. And Finley's now 18,
right.
So she's off to college, and she's not here, so we miss her. She left my son like a lot in the background. She was like the cool big sister with him. So he's over it just being mom and dad here already. But, it's a lot. The system doesn't prepare you at all, so you have to really figure things out on your own, and there's a lack of support in mental health and making sure these teenagers, get the love that they need and even the support mentally that they need. So you have to figure it all out when you become a mom. If you got of a teen, you got to figure everything out.
Yeah. Well, girl, it looks like you have a lot on your plate, and, I just feel like you're that kind of person that juggles so much and you get it done,
Yes, I'm trying, sis. I'm trying.
Are you coming back to Love and Hip Hop?
We'll see.
Because I don't know. I feel like in the past couple of episodes, I don't know. I get the sense that you might have maybe evolved past the situation,
Yeah, by third season I was on the show, I felt like I evolved from the situation. But I always felt like I would do some people a disservice by leaving, not because I'm super entertaining, but because I did feel like I had a very unique voice, and I wanted women primarily to understand that there are some of us in this business that aren't connected to a man, and we got our stripes on our own. I didn't get my stripes from being married to, or my boyfriend is, or I worked hard, I hustled, and every day I had to hustle, and every day I was hit with setbacks and blows, and I had to keep pushing. And I felt like it was important for somebody out there, even if it was one woman, to know you can push through being a single mother right now. You can push through an incarceration. You can push through, my son was born with a kidney disease. You can push through all of these different things where some might be like, oh, no, this is it. This is going to take me out. I can't do it. I wanted to show them, like, look, it can be done. I'm doing it.
Right. Well, we don't know if you're coming back to that show, but we know that Uncensored is happening this Sunday on TV1. Yandy Smith-Harris, thank you so much for joining us, especially on a very, very heavy week, considering the Breonna Taylor decision. Thank you so much for making time.
No problem. Thank you so much for making time for me.
It's Mina SayWhat. You're on